Hey guys, thank you for watching. So today we are going to answer some of your questions on how to maintain a healthy relationship because we get those a lot. So we just got married back in September and we're going to give you guys any relationship advice that you have requested. So here we go. So we started dating in college. We dated for 2.5 years.
Yeah, 2010.
And then we broke up for like 2 years. I went to New York and got my MBA. Chad stayed in LA, and then one day after I graduated, I had messaged him and said that I really missed him. We got back together. We're dating for another 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Got engaged and married, and that rest is history.
We first met in college. We both went to USC. It was I think my senior year and her sophomore year.
No, you were already graduating.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah, and then it was at the fraternity house.
Yeah.
It's the truth. As romantic as it is.
Forever. I think the moment that I texted him and wanted to see him again after 2 years, I knew that that's who I wanted to be with forever. I don't know about you though.
Yeah, I knew before that. She broke up with me. If we're gonna get down to the facts. I mean, when you're younger, you don't necessarily take all that into consideration. But then when you look back, it's usually pretty clear. So it really was in the beginning, honestly, because I don't think anyone's ever made me laugh that consistently. But probably when I really realized was when we got back together as well.
Yes, we fight. We fight a lot, actually. We're kind of like I feel like we kind of talk to each other in like a sarcastic tone a lot. So a lot of people think that we're fighting even when we're not. But we fight about real stuff too. And how do we resolve it? I think we should answer that part.
Yeah, I'm of the belief that fighting is healthy for any relationship. I think it's just how you resolve things and having a mutual respect for each other. I think we invest a lot of time with each other, figuring out how to fight more productively. We listen to a lot of podcasts, we read books. I mean, I think that's pivotal. Marriage is not easy. It's just figuring out how to conflict in an efficient and kind of resourceful way.
And I will say that at the end of every fight that we have, even before we got married, Chad will always look at me and say, "So what did we learn from this?" Because there's always something that that can be learned from an argument, and a way to make it not happen the same way the next time, so you're not constantly fighting about the same thing. So, I never really am the jealous type. I tried. I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, I'm not jealous.
Yeah.
You tend to be a little bit.
I mean, but I would never go through your phone or do anything crazy like that. I just I kind of trust you.
No, I think there's a lot of trust. I wouldn't necessarily say either of us are jealous.
Yeah, I think that's the answer. We both have a lot of trust in each other, and I think that comes from us breaking up and getting back together and going through that whole thing. It's we know that we don't want to be with anyone else. We know we want each other more than anything else. So to be able to trust each other and knowing that we would never do anything to jeopardize our relationship ever again, because we already know what it's like not to have each other, which I'm not saying that everybody's going to go through that, but just having that trust is really important. Can you answer that?
It's mostly the same. There are things that change. I think there's a level of seriousness. It's not necessarily the product of marriage. I think it's the product of what marriage brings. It just life gets more serious. There's different desires as a family.
Big decisions that have to be made.
Yeah, you start looking at having a family, having kids. Money becomes a little bit more important. So
I think those are two big things that have changed for us. I think deciding on when we want to start a family is a conversation we've had a lot, and then when we got married, we also started a joint checking account.
Yeah.
So things that revolve around the dogs or groceries or our household expenses, those all go through our joint checking account. And then things that are like personal, like me going shopping, like that's my own money that I spend. And same for Chad. So, and like, I think that is what is healthiest for us. I think finances are different for every couple. So you've got to just do what works for you, but that's what we've made work. And those are like the two biggest things that I think have changed since we got married. Yeah?
Yeah, I agree. I think when you put too much pressure on the actual wedding day and marriage, and it's like this big change in the direction of your relationship, I think that has the propensity to cause issues. So it's just a commitment to each other, and it should be a continuation of the story. That's how I look at it. So it's been good.
Ooh, that's tough. We have so many. Like going back to the time that I was like 19. So, gosh, you got one?
Yeah, people change a lot. It's hard. There's like stages of it. Probably when we were in college. I mean, I don't necessarily know if there's like one specific night or memory, but just
we had a lot of fun together.
We are still very carefree, but again, life gets a bit more serious at times. So, sometime in college when you first meet each other, that first 6 months, I mean that
or when we got back together.
Yeah, we kind of like had 2 honeymoons.
Yeah,
so that's
2 honeymoon phases.
Yeah, that was
or
exciting.
Our actual honeymoon, like that was very special too.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many different things, and I think that there's so many different things that we haven't even experienced yet. But one thing that does stand out to me was the first time that I had seen him in 2 years after when we got back together. That was a moment like I had never felt anything like that until that time, and so that was really special. It was almost the same feeling that you feel like so excited when I was walking down the aisle on my wedding day, just like pure joy and pure excitement. So those 2 moments really stand out to me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Top 3 tips for a successful relationship. I would say trust is one, which we mentioned before. Communication, and being able to not only like communicate about things that are going on between your lives, but also communicating how you're feeling and letting your partner know like, hey, when you did this, it made me feel this way, and not having them get like super riled up at whatever you're saying, and having an open dialogue about that, because that's something that we talk about almost every day. It's like, oh, hey, this is how you made me feel about this. And then I think something that we're still struggling with and that we work on all the time is time without technology. So time where we literally put our phones away and like only talk to each other. And I think that we do a really good job of it when we go out on dates, which we're gonna do tonight. But I think when we're home, it's a lot harder because things pop up, people call, emails come in, and you get taken away and you're not in the moment. But those are the top 3 things for me. What about you?
Yeah, communication is key. I think it's well documented, and I couldn't agree more. I think that's the key to really any successful relationship. You need to know how each other feel at all times. You need to know where each other stand. I think it's ongoing, it's dynamic, it's something you always have to be working on. You always have to be kind of getting better at with each other. The second one would be, I don't know a sophisticated way to say it, but just not getting lazy. I think when you're married, you kind of know that, okay, we're married, and lazy can mean many things, but lazy with each other is kind of what I'm referring to. Like, a marriage is very fluid. You need to always be working on it. You need to always be getting better at being a husband or a wife or a father, or all the different things that go into it. And so seeing it as always leveling up, always getting better, I think is a good way to look at it. And then the third thing would probably be, I read a really good book recently. We both read it. It's called the 5 Love Languages. It's really important. I thought it was really interesting to see. You need to understand how your partner, everyone that wants to be loved or receives love in a certain way. And so hers is acts of service, mine is quality time. And so understanding how to make your spouse feel special and what they appreciate is important, because it's not necessarily the same as the way you feel. So go ahead and read it.
10 years. Yikes. Looking ahead, I see us having, I really want 4 kids. Chad wants 3. So somewhere 3.5. And you know, what else?
Yeah, that's hard. 5 years is a little bit more in the context. 10 years from now, yeah, I definitely have kids, have a family. I'd like to have a vacation house. I would like all 3 of my dogs to still be alive.
Hi.
I think we both are pretty career focused.
Okay.
So I think we both
You need to get off the couch.
would love to
You're
be
not a
in-
couch dog.
I have to redo this one. Hey, Goose.
Can you sit down? Oh, right over here. Traveler.
As I was saying, we want a family, we want a bigger family. We're both career oriented, so whatever that looks like from a career perspective.
Chad wants a mountain house to take our family skiing.
Yeah, I want a
someday.
mountain house. I would love to be traveling, as much or more as we are now. Even though life does get more busy when you have kids.
When you have kids
I've heard.
and they have to go to school. Hopefully getting to see both of their grandparents a lot. Our kids.
Yeah, my siblings are starting to have kids, so
Families
that's an
are
aspect.
very important to us. So
Yeah.
that's like I think both of our number one thing is family.
Mm-hmm.
For the single folk. I said single folk. Okay, so if I were single, I think for me, the best way to meet people is through mutual friends. I think that, and like, cause I'm highly anxious. So getting to know and meet people, through people I already know makes me more comfortable, because then I know, okay, I can trust this person. It's going to be like a step, in the right direction. And then going on group types of dates and things like that. But once you do meet someone that you click with, I think the most important thing, because both Chad and I did date people in between our relationships, is making sure that you have a spark with someone from the moment that you meet them, because that was something that I only ever had with Chad, and I tried to date other people and see and it just didn't spark. It was really forced. And with him, it's just easy. Our relationship flows and it's comfortable, and I'm not scared to be myself. So I think having a spark and being able to really be yourself and comfortable with the other person is the most important.
Yeah, I think you need to be able to have fun with someone. You need to be able to laugh with someone.
Sense of humor.
Not
That is
take yourself too seriously, because it just won't be sustainable if it's for anything else. All the not wrong reasons, but reasons that perhaps shouldn't be as important. In the beginning or a relationship. There's a lot of outside influences. What your friends may want, what your parents may want, that kind of thing. And so I think it's just critical to really be able to have fun with each other no matter what. And I would say don't settle too. Life and social media and a lot of other things try to tell you that there's stages of life and you should be at this stage at this age. That there's a way for everyone to find that someone out there. I truly do believe that. And so be patient, take care of yourself, love yourself, and it'll come. That's what I truly believe.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to DM us if you have any more questions. We would love to answer them, and these are fun videos for us to do. So we would love to do it again. Just send us your questions and we will get going.
Have a good one. Hi, Goose. Hi.